Wilson, a librarian with the Spokane County Library District, and we are making fairy and gnome houses. Today I'm going to be going over supplies, showing you a few examples, and we'll build a bit together. So first, supplies. I have a variety of supplies here with me today, including the supplies that are in the supply bags if you register for the program, which include a box for the base of your fairy or gnome house. It's pretty easy to put together. At the bottom, you just push in the two square tabs first, and there's little slots that these press right into. Just press on it a bit and they slip right in. So it's pretty easy. There are also included some craft sticks or popsicle sticks, some yarn, feathers, and some beads. Now, we encourage you to go outside and gather natural materials as well. Things like leaves, twigs, pebbles, and flowers. Now, remember safety when you're gathering materials outside. And also, don't take from your neighbor's yard without their permission. Some of the other basic things you will need is some glue. I just have some basic school glue here today to build with. You'll need some scissors, and you can also use tape if you like. So before we go on to the examples, think about what type of fairy or gnome will inhabit your house. There's many different types of fairy and gnomes. Are they talkative? Are they quiet? Are they lazy? Are they peppy? Do they like having visitors over? Or are they more of a hermit and don't like a lot of people around? What do they like to do? And what type of house would suit them best? Think about that as we look at some examples. So this example is made just with the supplies from the library. You can see the feathers and the yarn and the fabric and the beads and the popsicle sticks I used for the roof. This one uses the library basic box to start, but everything else is natural supplies that were found outside. Even have a little ladder to get to the top, to the seating area on the very top. And they have a canopy over the door to get into the house. So you don't have to have a library supply bag to do this project. You can use recyclables that you already have at home, such as an empty cracker box or a coffee container. Any fun thing that you think would make a great base for a fairy house, and you gather your items from outside. So let's build a bit together. Let's start, I think I want to start with the roof. And I think I'm going to use some leaves to build my roof. I'm going to take the long stem off of this and use my scissors. And I think I'm going to make a roof like this. I'm going to use some glue. Now, depending on the glue you use, you may have to hold what you're placing on the house and kind of hold it until it gets set. Depends on how heavy the item you want to put on your house and what type of glue you're using. So the leaves are pretty light, so I don't have to hold them on there very long. A few seconds is probably good. And they're good to go until as it dries. I'm going to put another leaf on the other side to make a nice roof of leaves. Now I think I am building a house for a gnome that is talkative and he loves having people over. So I want to make sure his house is nice and bright and inviting, and make sure everyone can find the front door because he loves having visitors. So I've got kind of a roof going here. I don't think I need this back portion on my box though, so I'm going to cut it off. We've got a roof going. Now you can add more leaves like this and kind of layer them so he has more of a roof and he doesn't have to worry about rain so much. And when he has those parties with all his friends, they don't get wet. So there's a nice roof going, huh? Let's see. So we know he is a very social gnome and he likes having people over. So let's make it really easy for someone to find his house. Let's use some bright colors. So I'm going to use some of our feathers that were in the supply kit, and I am going to put some feathers on the front. So as you're making this, you can kind of manipulate your box, and it doesn't have to be set upright the whole time. You can set it down if it's easier to put glue on and put your items on here. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the box so my feathers stick. So the front of the house here, what I'm going to make the front of the house is nice and colorful, and everyone will be able to find it, all his friends. So you can choose to do all natural materials if you want, or you can do a mix of both like I'm doing. I'm going to use up my feathers, bright colorful feathers. Might need a little bit more glue. Don't be afraid of using glue. If you put a lot on there though, it'll take a little bit longer to dry. So don't be afraid of putting something on your house, and you may have to walk away and let it sit for a few minutes to let the glue set. So don't be afraid of having to do that. Okay. So I've got my roof and my nice colorful fluffy front that announces that his house is there. So I'm going to press on the feathers for just a minute or two. Make sure they're in place because feathers like to fly around. And since I'm outside, I don't want them to go away. I'm going to add a little bit more glue. Get my hands all messy. This is a messy process, I warn you. You might want to put down a tablecloth when you start your house because there will be glue. Okay. So, oh, and my roof is getting a little. So don't worry if things fall off. They have a tendency to do that. Just put some more glue on and hold it. That always helps. And you may need to, as I said, walk away from it for a minute or two, let it set and come back and it'll be perfect and ready to go. So I've got my roof. I've got my see the house, announcing he's there feathers. So we need a front door for his visitors to enter from. So let's make his front door. So let's use some yarn, some nice bright yarn that will announce the door's presence, right? So I'm just going to make a little outline of the door, nice big door, and put some glue down in kind of the arch that I want the door to be, and put the yarn right on top of the glue. Kind of press the yarn down, and then I have a little left over, so I'll just snip it off. So there's my door. I don't think it's impressive enough though, so let's put some beads around it. Really announce that that is his front door. So I'm going to put some more glue around the door so I can put my beads on there. Nice array of beads to make it fun and bright and welcoming for all his friends. Now beads can be a little tricky to make sure they stick. So you might need quite a bit of glue to get them to stay on your box. So don't be afraid of doing that. Okay. I think I need a little bit more glue. Remember to think about what your fairy would love in a house, because they are the ones who will be living there, right? Put a lot of glue on there to make sure my beads stay. Hopefully, cross your fingers for me. think? That's a pretty impressive doorway, right? For all his friends to see and come through. So we've got some nice color and welcoming aspects. Let's see, what else can we add? Let's add some twigs. Oh, and I've already got a beetle. That one is a little big. Let's put a smaller one on there. So it is a messy process. You will have things fall off, as I said earlier. Don't be discouraged. So I think it needs a little bit more on the outside. What do you think? Should we do some flowers? Let's do some flowers and twigs on the outside. Because we all know that fairies and gnomes love to be outside and they love to take care of their flowers and their plants. So let's make sure his home reflects that. So if you are using natural materials like flowers and leaves, they will wilt after a little while, so you have to take that into consideration. It may be an ongoing project for you. If you want to have natural materials like fresh flowers and leaves, you may have to replace them with new fresh flowers or leaves down the road. We've got a nice flowery garden on the side. And on the other side, let's say, on the back of his house, let's do some twigs and make a little forest. Put some more glue on my box. Put some twigs, branch-like things. And make sure you keep things level on the bottom of your box because you want it to stand up. If they're poking on the bottom too far, it'll make your house lopsided. So make sure that it's even on the bottom. Kind of nudge them up if you have flowers or twigs or whatever material you're using. Put a little bit more glue. And remember to have fun with it. Make something that you think your fairy will really enjoy and want to live in for a long time. Add a little bit more glue because the twigs are a little heavier than our leaves or flowers. I'm going to put quite a bit more glue on there. These messy glue fingers. Okay, let's see. How's everything holding up? The door is still in place. Our flowers are still in place. And we've got a wood in the back. That one doesn't want to stay up. So there. See, I told you things like to fall off. And they will do that until they're totally dry. Okay. So here is my fairy house for my very social, loves to have friends over gnome. So that about wraps it up for me. I hope you guys have fun and you keep building, and remember to think about what your fairy or gnome would like in a house. And I'll see you next time. Bye.